Allie, and this series on my channel is dedicated to all of you aspiring or current content creators out there. So we have a fun video today. I'm going to be going over the 5 basic pieces of equipment you're going to need to create content. So I'm going to run through the 5 things, give you some tips, tell you what I use. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. I'll link all the equipment that I use in the description down below, which heads up, I'll make a really small percentage on these, but I would really appreciate if you do use these links if you're going to buy any of this equipment. Okay, let's go. So the first piece of equipment that you need is a camera. These are some of the cameras that I'm currently using. The camera that I started out with was a really old Samsung non-DSLR camera, and you can see that in this old tech dive video that I did. If you're planning to do Instagram or more of a social media platform, then your phone works as well for a camera. I know a lot of YouTubers use their phones for making videos, but I personally just love the appeal of a good old school camera. Sometimes if I just have my phone in my bag, I won't remember to set out and get that content that I was looking for, but if I have my camera with me, it usually indicates that I had a plan to get some sort of content with this camera. Because you bring your phone everywhere, it can be kind of hard to remember to actually get whatever dedicated footage you need. But when I have my camera with me, I know that there's usually some kind of footage that I'm supposed to be getting. I don't know about you guys, but my phone is a mess and I have all kinds of files and screenshots and stuff saved on my phone. So it's really easy for me to lose my content in my phone. So that's another reason why I like having a dedicated camera with its own SD card that I can just directly import into my laptop and whatever folders I'm using to organize my content. Also, this really just comes down to a preference thing. I've been creating content since the early 2000s, and back then phones were obviously way more clunky, but since then I've just gotten into the habit of using a camera for my content. So if you're starting out in 2020, you might be more comfortable using a phone. If you have the budget for it, I would recommend getting a camera or saving up for a camera as the first big piece of equipment. Canon is a great brand of cameras to start out with. They're really easy to use. They generally have pretty good features around the board that don't require a lot of setup. They have pretty good automatic mode. So I have 3 Canon cameras at this point, and I have a Sony camera. If you guys have any camera recommendations that you want to share, you can drop them in the comments down below. Then going off of that, the next thing that you need is a tripod. This one is bent all crazy, but this is one of my favorite tripods. This is a Joby Gorilla Pod. I think this is the 5-foot one, so it's slightly more expensive than the smaller ones. Just attach any camera to this and it's portable. It fits into some of my bigger bags. I really like this one. I know when a lot of people start out, they stack their camera on books or on boxes, which is what I did for a lot of years too, and I never had a problem with that. If you don't have a budget for a tripod starting out, you can definitely stack things around your house, but for me, that creates more clutter and more cleanup to do. So I would recommend getting a tripod if you can afford that in your budget. And if not, don't worry about it right now, but definitely put that on your list for equipment to invest for in the future, because it'll make the whole setup and cleanup process a lot easier. So the next thing is a laptop or a computer. So whatever laptop or computer you have on hand, you can process your content on there usually. There are video and photo editing apps that are compatible with both MacBooks and Windows. This is a Brandy Melville sticker. I really like it. Anyway, this is my good old laptop. I've had this laptop since 2016 and it's always served me well. So you basically just need a laptop or a computer of some sort to do your processing. My laptop is where I import all of my footage or photos. It's where I process it and make my videos, and it's also where I export and post most of my videos, unless it's on Instagram, which in that case I would just do it from my phone directly. If you're creating content on a really social platform like Instagram or Twitter, you might not need a laptop necessarily right off the bat, but still having one will make your life easier in terms of storage and organization and more advanced processing down the road. Okay, the next piece of equipment that I would really recommend you get is a notebook or a planning software of some sort. Before, I was using Trello. I can show you guys. I was using an app called Trello before to organize my video and planning, and I've switched over into an app called Notion now to do that. If you're more of an analog planner, then you can grab a notebook, you can grab a bullet journal or planner, or you can even get one of these physical wall calendars. It's super important to have somewhere that you're actually doing your planning and brainstorming. Creating content comes with a lot of planning and prep work. Keeping it all in your head is going to be really, really tough. So definitely make sure that you have a notebook or some kind of planning software in your content creation workflow. The last piece of equipment that I really recommend for content creation is a hard drive or a storage drive. And I have a million of these at this point. I've always had laptops with really low storage space. Definitely if you're doing a lot of content creation or doing it for a client, you are definitely going to need an external storage drive. I use my external storage drive for photos as well to back up my writing. I know a lot of people use cloud storage too nowadays, but I don't really like to pay a monthly fee for storage, and I also just like to have my content physically with me and not on a cloud. So that's again just a matter of personal preference. If you don't want to get an external storage device, you can also look into things like Dropbox or expanding your Google Drive storage and storing some of your work there. So I keep only the bare essentials on my actual laptop, and basically everything else, all my other files, are on a storage drive, which is plugged into my laptop like 90% of the time. I would encourage you to do the same if you have low storage space. Otherwise, your laptop's going to be lagging as you're editing or dragging stuff around, and it's just a bit of a headache. So having an external storage drive is going to help you out with that, and I'll leave some of my recommendations and some of the ones that I like down below. And those are the 5 pieces of starter equipment that I would recommend to you. Depending on your budget, you can build out this starter kit for a range of different prices. And if you want more information on that, and if you guys want to see a more in-depth video on that, feel free to leave it in a comment down below. I got my first camera in middle school, and as I've been creating content along the way, my equipment kit has shifted and expanded, but you don't need to start out with all of these. Just start with what you have. You can expand on your collection as you go. Hopefully this video was helpful and exciting. Let me know if you guys do end up getting any of these equipment. I'd really appreciate if you do use these links if you're considering these equipment. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video before you go. Thanks so much for watching. Happy creating, and I'll see you soon.